Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to another episode of Anime Ramble. Today I got for you Doron Dororon, Chapter 1, brand new series in Shonen Jump, and honestly, if I'm being just completely upfront with you, after reading the first chapter, getting my thoughts down on paper, this series is going to be either a hit or miss, okay? It gives me Demon Slayer meets Jujutsu Kaisen type of vibes, and by far one of the easiest stories to get into. I mean, it was laid out almost as plain as day for you about this main protagonist. I mean, I got through the chapter really quickly. I didn't really have to make that many notes because it's all pretty easy to follow. Your main protagonist is quite easily one of the simplest protagonists that I have seen in a new Shonen Jump series in a long time. Maybe that's for the better, because it seems like all the series that have been getting axed have been the series that seem to be a little bit more complicated with their power systems and how things work. I don't know. All I can tell you is that I fuck with the series. You know, even if it is simple, I fuck with it. I fuck with Demon Slayer, and Demon Slayer was simple. This is, you know, a comparable fix if that is your steez, samurai swords, all of that, the Izanagi Force. I'm gonna dive into all of that so you get the gist of what you're getting into in this series. So, what is going on? Well, we're introduced to our main protagonist, Dora, who is a high school delinquent and has recently graduated high school despite all the odds. And because he is a delinquent, he likes to fight. He's gotten in fights throughout all of high school. He's gotten suspended because of fights. He almost got expelled because of fights. But we open up this chapter with him in a graveyard, and he's speaking to his mom. His mom was a victim of a Mononoke attack, and I believe for the past 50 years they have been a regular occurrence, but in the past year it's ramped up significantly, especially in like major cities where on average you're seeing about 3 Mononoke attacks a day. I want to say they said, and unfortunately his mom was a victim of that. Because of that, he has grown up to hate Mononoke. His only aspiration is to join the Izanagi Force, become a samurai, and hunt the Mononoke. This is a promise that he made to his mother. His mother was very, you know, supportive of the idea of him serving the public, and that comes from, you know, him being a child. When he was a child, he's always getting into fights. Parents were going to his mom saying that he fought these kids, but, you know, not even really diving deeper. His mom was like, but you know, they also said that you protected their kids, so, well, they're kind of okay with it. Now, I'm not talking about the ones that he beat up, I'm talking about just other kids in general. So he's always had a good heart. That doesn't mean jack shit though, because even though he has a good heart, after he graduated high school, the very next day is the samurai exam. He goes, he takes the exam, and by takes the exam, I mean he gets his blood drawn. They examine his blood and they say, no, sorry, you don't qualify to be a samurai. There are no retakes. You can't do anything about this. Alright, the only thing that he has really going for him is the fact that he can fight extremely well, he's extremely strong, and I'm guessing he's extremely fast. Just take Asta from Black Clover and all that physical, you know, pull-ups and chin-ups and shit that he did, and just throw that in Dora, your main protagonist here, and that's essentially what you got. He has a vice grip like no other, so him being that strong enables him to wield the weapon that I'm going to get to later. Everything will make sense if you've already read the chapter. Anyway, moving on. Because they drew his blood, they realized that after examining it, he doesn't have any affinity for the supernatural arts, okay? That's the only way to beat a Mononoke. You cannot just cut them with a kitchen knife and expect them to die. They will regenerate much like the demons in Demon Slayer. So you have to use a special weapon imbued with supernatural energy or supernatural forces. He has 0, so he can't do it. This should be the end of the story. This is a shonen, so it is not. After all of this happens, well, actually, let me back up, because I've mentioned the Izanagi Force and I've mentioned samurais, and I didn't give any context for that. So the Izanagi Force is the special division of, I guess, the military that deal with the Mononoke. They have the samurai swords. They are able to use supernatural energy and forces, and they are able to eliminate these things. We are introduced to them when there's just this random kid on a clock tower, I think it's a clock tower, and he's being pursued by one of the Mononoke after being kidnapped. Samurai comes in, dices it, it just fizzles away, rescues the kid. Flash forward, after Dora has taken the exam, he's walking back home, and I think he's passing the exact same clock tower, and there is another kid in the clock tower. And I'm like, does nobody supervise children in this world? They're just allowed to go anywhere and do anything, but I mean, it's convenient for the plot. That's all I'm gonna say. So Dora being Dora, he runs up there and he's trying to check on what's going on, and the kid's running, and he's like, yo, get out of here, I'll take care of the whole situation, you just run to safety, right? Go to safety and try to get one of the samurai to come and take care of this situation. So Dora, he runs up the stairs and he sees this big monkey Mononoke, and he just wants chewy, right? He just wants to eat kids, but he sees Dora and he's like, I'm so hungry, I'll settle for you. But there's this small creature that's there that's also a Mononoke, but for whatever reason, it doesn't want to consume human flesh. It's never consumed human flesh, and actually it's a point that the evil Mononoke makes. You've never had human flesh, how are you going to tell me that I can't have it and you've never tasted it? It's kind of like a Tokyo Ghoul situation. So anyway, so this good Mononoke, Katsunagi, he's not strong enough to take down this evil Mononoke, but Dora sees Katsunagi and was like, you helped the kid, so you can't be all bad. But because of his memories and all of his trauma that he suffered after his mom died at the hands of a Mononoke, he's kind of hesitant with Katsunagi to trust him, but that doesn't last more than like 10 pages or something like that, because he has to use him in order to survive. Katsunagi is a little different than the previous Mononoke that we've seen, because he's able to transform, I'm just going to assume, into anything, but he takes the form of a samurai sword, which is what the Izanagi force use. So in this case, Dora still has the magical potency of 0, but has a weapon that is able to handle and eliminate the Mononoke. So I really do have high hopes for this series. I don't want him to join the Izanagi force. I would much rather this be like a My Hero Vigilante type of situation, or at least at the beginning, where he's just doing his own thing and they're trying to figure out who it is that's eliminating the Mononoke that's not a part of the Izanagi force, okay? I want there to be that renegade persona to this man, because he has the strength to wield the sword, and that's actually brought up, right? It takes someone with incredible strength to be able to hold up a Mononoke in the form of a longsword. And that's kind of where we end off. We never get the name of the samurai woman who saved the child the first time and who is investigating, you know, what happened with Dora currently with this most recent Mononoke. But yeah, a very straightforward chapter, very simple series to get into. The power system's not anything crazy. It was a very quick setup for our main protagonist, so the plot can only get deeper from here. And it is definitely something that I want to continue on this channel. Just so many series are being asked, it's just kind of like, what's gonna stick? And a lot of things aren't even getting to like 25 chapters, let alone 50 chapters. So we're gonna see. It was interesting. I just want to give my thoughts on that. If you made it to the end, thank you. If you are new, go plus ultra and smash that subscribe button. Let me know you rock with the content that I get out on the channel. Like the video if you like the video, dislike the video if you dislike the video. Comment on the video your thoughts about how you like this series, and if you think it's gonna be around for more than 25 chapters or not. Subscribe if you are brand new, and like always, until next time, I'm out.